back to the channel. Today we're gonna do something different. Again, we always do something different. It's usually dioramas or some sort of 3D printing right now. So I'll show you. We went and printed ourselves. It's gonna be a half mask, so it's not gonna be a mask that you're gonna want to wear. It's gonna be a mask that goes on the wall, and it's going to be a Tusken Raider. So the other day we started off by printing them. Now it doesn't have to look pretty. You can see it looks like I painted this up. It's really yucky, messy, but that's okay because what we're gonna do is add stuff to it. And it's not paint, it's basically the other stuff. So the Tusken Raider has his eyes, he has 4 points that go on his head. And of course we're gonna make these a little bit closer because you're supposed to have the full cap. So it would have been 4 points, 2 in the back here, then 2 here, but we're gonna just incorporate this so it's sort of like that. And then I think these are like some sort of fire nose blowers or something, I can't remember. Okay, so we've printed all the pieces. The only thing that we want to do is figure out what we're going to cover with. Now you can go and get some leather, because that's usually what it is. It's a leather piece that goes on top of here, and then like sort of like rags that you could use like a coffee stain on. I want to try something different today because it's our stuff. We're going to try some paper mache, where we're going to add it to it, build it up in layers. We'll glue the pieces to it, add up in layers, and then we're just going to paint it. We'll see how that looks. So we're going to set that up. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make ourselves some papier-mâché kind of mixture. All it is water and your white glue. I think some people, what do they add, like baking powder, or sometimes they add flour, I think, or something like that. Do whatever you want. Get yourself a model of what you want it to look like. Okay, so what we're thinking of doing is just, first of all, is just putting the first layer down. Make sure you always put some paper down because this stuff is messy. First layer, we're going to have it like this, and then we're just going to build up thicker and thicker layers of it in certain parts, because you can see around the mouth where it's supposed to have a belt will be a bit thicker, and then pieces will be straddled everywhere, and then we're just going to paint them. The last layer will have different straps around it, like you can see it on, it almost looks like a mummy, and then we'll go from there. So we're going to add a couple of first layers first, like I said, and then we're going to glue on our, what would they call that, Gribblies, I guess they call them, these little pieces that we have downstairs, the 4 horns, the 2 eyes, the nose piece, and the 2, I think fire's supposed to come out of there, I'm not sure, but yeah, so very simple. Cut a bunch of thin strips of any kind of paper. Usually I like to use newspaper, but we can use this. And then what you're gonna do is just very simple. You've done this when you're a kid. Make sure you get it nice and wet, but also, take out as much as you can of the glue. And it's gonna tear, because this is thin paper, obviously. But that's okay, because as we're building up layers, that's what we'll want. And then just keep on going on. The one thing I want to say that I'm gonna do, and I think is important, because we're using a plastic, obviously the PLA is plastic, and we're using water and glue, is we don't want this to form mold on it. So what a good idea that I'm thinking it works, and I've seen someone else do it before too, was do one layer at a time. So put your whole layer on it, let it dry, and then go back and do it again, because if you trap the water and moisture in it, you'll end up probably forming mold. So I'm going to continue doing this, and when we get to the second or third layer, we'll show you more. Okay, stay tuned. Right. So we added our papier-mâché to our project. I think this is just more for stability, because I think we're gonna have to go with something else more like sheet cloth wise. But we also found this is older hospital tape that I got a long time ago. I think they gave it to me for some reason. And what we want to do is add that around where the eyes are. The nice thing about this stuff is it does have some sort of stickiness to it, but it's not like a glue. So we're gonna have to glue it on to here, which is not a big deal. What we'll do is we'll get our Mod Podge, whatever we have left of it, this one. Oh yeah, we still got some. And what we want to do is, first of all, we're just going to wrap it around the eyes part. Just mold it around there. So, just by taking a little bit of a measurement here, so we'll cut it here. You can see that. And then adding some Mod Podge to our project. Not going to worry about the eyes. We'll cut that out after. Add some glue here. Just so it goes on there properly. It'll basically stick better. Okay. Like so. If we need more, we'll add more. Take our piece. We'll just add it here. Cut down the line here, this way, and this way, so that we make like a big M. We'll just add it on here. Okay. We'll let this dry. We'll come back. All right. So next step we're gonna do is we're gonna glue on our, they call them Gribblies. I guess they're just odd pieces. So hot glue gun. Lots of glue. And just gonna go around. Oops, try to keep it off of there. Okay. Figuring out where we want to put them, but obviously the eyes, these little pieces here have to go on the bottom. Just at a slight angle. You want it so you can see them still. And push them down. And then we also want to do the horns, which we're going to make them a little bit off center. Not off center, but we're going to put one like here. And then we'll do the other one sort of in the back, so it's sort of like you can see it. Like I said, because we didn't have the whole round part of it, it's going to be flat on the wall, we want it to look like that. The other side. Alright, so we got that look. I think that looks okay. Like that. And we also want these nose breather fire thingers, whatever they're supposed to be, on here. So we're just going to stick those about there. There we go. We have some of it done. Let's make sure it's down there. I'm going to push it hard so it doesn't move around. Now, these are a little loose. Looks like they'll come off if they end, but we're going to put some Mod Podge around there so it stays. Alright, so we'll just get our paintbrush. You know, I have to set some up, so it's on there good. I ended up using crazy glue. Next is we want to do the mouthpiece. So you can see the mouthpiece here has like a bunch of bends in it. So we're going to just keep on using what we have as this stuff. And I'm thinking we'll just take some hot glue, because stuff sticks together. It doesn't stick together on that very well. So we're just going to take some hot glue first on the inside, and we're just going to sort of bend it whatever we can inside. And you can see I'm going to try to pinch it together, so we have that kind of rough, that look of it being round. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. What are you going to do, right? It'll look good the way it is. Like that. Okay, so there we have our mouth. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so next, we want to put our nose piece, which is here. I want to glue him on looks like that. We want it just to stick out just a little, not much, just a little, so you could sort of see it, like so. Okay, looking good, looking good. All right, next step is to make sort of like the belts. So what we want to do is to make sure that we have different sizes. We have to cut, obviously, this on here. So let me cut these pieces. All right, so next step is I just took a small piece, I cut a hole in the middle of it, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little bit of hot glue around. We did it on the other ones, and then it's gonna make it look like at least it's been pierced through. All right, like that's only around the horns. So I didn't show you most of the belt because, oh my God, you would have heard me screaming. Screaming and swearing, not what you want to hear, okay? It's just, it's a lot of screwing around to do on that. And yes, it's hot and very, very hurtful. So far, we have our layers of what we're using, and it's looking like that. Okay, so next step is we're just going to cut a bunch of strips and we'll put them on. So I'm going to cut these strips, I can show you. So I kind of glued all the strips on without recording it because, again, holy cow, burn your fingers if you're using hot glue. You need to see that. It wasn't hard. Just cut up your strips, put them on there. Like I said, I'm using a form of tape that I've had from a long time ago from the hospital that they were throwing out. It was donated basically because they said I could have it, and this way I protect my ass, right? I know they gave it to me. So it was just a little bit of strip left, which I stretched it out and made it. For some reason, there was 2 different colors I had, so that worked out even better. So putting the mouthpiece on there, as that, and this is a little bit lighter. We're still going to paint this a bit, just to weather it. But I'm going to tell you my last thing I like to do. I always like to do, and I think it's going to work better for me, because I was doing it during the process. Just take yourself some Mod Podge and add a little bit of water, just a little bit, not much, just to make it flow a little better. And we're just going to cover the whole thing, all right? Now, it'll dry clear, but at least it'll keep all those pieces down that say want to come up and what you didn't hit with the glue, hot glue gun properly. I think it makes a big difference. I was doing this on the other levels of it too, and again, having to use a Mod Podge itself, I said it before, it's a good idea to let it dry between the pieces itself, because you really don't want mold to sort of form, because especially if it's on plastic, I think it would. I'm no expert, but I think it would. And then, like I said, this you will never see it. The glue will dry clear and right through, because I've done a couple of coats on it before, and you don't see it. So it's the way it is. So like I said, you can just randomly put it everywhere. I like to put them on the seams or the edges, which will work really well. And then this way, you can see what's going on. So we're gonna let this dry. After, give it a good hour or so, maybe just put it on the vent, because we have our heater on. And then we're gonna take some paint and either airbrush it or probably just paint on it and get some weathering into it. So let me finish this up and we'll get to that point. All right, I think we're done. So here we go. Here's my Tusken Raider mask that I made. It does fit on your head. It's still a little wet. So I just basically dirtied it up, put some brown on the lines, painted the mouthpiece to look like leatherish kind of thing, but I put too much black on it, so I'm going to get rid of that, let it dry, and then go from there. The back doesn't matter because the back is going to be on the wall. It's going to be on the wall like that, so you know, always great from a distance. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys. It's just a fun build, I guess, and that's what we wanted to do. The next one we're going to try, if we can get onto it. I still got to work on that guy's diorama. It's just so... I like to try something different. I have a Kylo Ren, which is only the 12-inch series, and I just watched a guy transform it into a Tusken Raider. I've always wanted to do that because I was thinking about it, and then all of a sudden it came up on my feed. I think they're listening. Motherfuckers. Anyway, maybe we'll try that out. So yeah, this is what we got. I think it looks good. Let me know what you think. Thumbs up for the content if you like it. If you don't, well, who cares? I guess it's no thumbs up. You know, like, subscribe, share. Tell all your friends to come and check it out. We are getting a little bit better at showing the process of doing stuff. Again, once I can afford a new camera, a good camera, one that you could do vlogs and videos and all that shit they say, it makes more sense than always doing it on my iPhone. And get some new shirts and go from there. So, very simple build. This was like everything that was in my house, you know, except for the 3D printed, you know. This is bandages, bandages. It works though. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if I can do it, so can you. Choose your path. See you on the next one.